Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we're looking at Don't Breathe 2, which I just watched this afternoon. It is a sequel, of course, to the movie Don't Breathe, which came out in 2016. This one came out last year, 2021. And yeah, so I've been actually looking forward to this one because Don't Breathe, the first one, is actually one of my favorite. It's it's supposed to be, it's labeled under horror, to be honest, or rather it was pushed under the horror banner for the most part, but it actually is more of a thriller. There's no real horror elements into it. It basically is thriller. So this time you've got the movie is directed by Fede Alvarez, who was the director of the first film, and you see Stephen Lang reprising his role as Norman Nordstrom. He's the only one who actually appears in this movie. I don't really think the dog is the same one, but we don't know. Anyway, along with him is Brendan Sexton III, and the young actress who plays the girl, who plays the little girl, is Madeline Grace, and I don't think I recognize anybody in the movie other than them. So after the events of the first movie, around 8 years has passed, and Norman has this is living with his Rottweiler as well as a 11-year-old young girl who is raising as his daughter. He has given her the name Phoenix, but she is not his actual daughter. He found her and he's been raising her as his daughter. So he along with the dog Shadow has been training the young girl to keep herself safe, to to escape from people who may want to harm her. And I don't actually know why he does that. Maybe the events of the previous movie that happened made him feel like he should keep her away from the public, so he doesn't really keep her. He doesn't let her go to school. He homeschools her. He doesn't really take her out. They're living in a little secluded place just outside of Detroit. The only companion that she has, other than the dog, is a friend of Norman's, a veteran Army Ranger called Hernandez. I forgot what her first name is in the movie. She's just called Hernandez. It's Stephanie Arcia is the actress. She's a friend who helps him with a little bit of jobs to do. So she does the supply run for him and the sales of some plants or things like that. So she asked to have the young girl accompany her while she's doing errands around town, and the girl, she reluctantly is agreed. However, while they're outside, a biker gang kind of guy watches the young girl, and while she's in the washroom, well, not that creepy, but yeah, she's an 11-year-old girl. But he sees her washing her hands, and then he keeps staring at her, trying to talk to her, but she, fends off his attentions, and then he is scared off by the dog Shadow, and then she goes back to Hernandez. But as she's going, he kind of rubs his finger over her hair, and that will be pertinent to the story because she has a little section of white hair or silver hair, and that's kind of like odd for a child of her age, but that will come into the picture a little later. So at night, that man and his couple of his people, they track the girl down. They kill Hernandez when she's trying to go back to her home, and then they attack. They kill the dog, and they abduct her. Norman tries to fend them off, but he has to, he's badly injured, and they put him into the garage along with a dog that they had with them, and then they leave them for dead. However, Norman escapes, and he saves the dog as well. Because of that, the dog and Norman kind of bond, and then he tries to find his way. Of course, he's blind, but he does try to find his way to where they are with the help of the dog, tracking the people. And we'll find out that the leader of the gang, whose name is Raylan, his Tara, the Phoenix is actually his daughter, and her real name is actually Tara. there was an explosion in a meth lab, and she was thought to be dead, as was her mother, but she was badly injured and she needs a heart transplant. So Raylan has got no attachment towards his own daughter. Neither does his wife, her mother. Um, who I don't remember the name of the character. Stephanie? No. Josephine. So she is paralyzed and she needs the heart transplant to actually survive. Now, because Tara is compatible, uh, they decide to. How they found out that she is actually the daughter is because of that streak of white hair, which is something that Raylan has got, and apparently they have been tracking her for a while, suspecting that she is the daughter who was rescued by Norman, which is kind of like odd. There's a lot of things that doesn't actually make sense about this. So they're going to try and do the transplant. However, Norman comes. He kills a bunch of people, including the doctor, and they manage to fend off Raylan and the goons. The goons are all killed off. The dog is now on the side of Norman because apparently he understands that he was left for dead, and now he's bonded with Norman because Norman rescued the dog. In the end, the mother is killed. Raylan is also like badly injured, and unfortunately, Norman is also stabbed by Raylan before the girl comes and kills her. She's a very brave girl. She comes and kills off her biological father, and he dies. He falls down into what I think is an empty pool, and he dies to his death. Falls down and dies to his death. Norman makes her go, and we believe that he is dead. She goes off to an orphanage where there's kids her age playing, which she saw, and she's been watching them for a while along with Hernandez because she doesn't really have any friends. So they kind of like invite her, and we assume that she's going to be taken in by the orphanage. However, at the end of the movie, the dog is coming and licking the fingers of Norman. So he may not be dead. I think depending on how this movie goes, they might be planning to do a sequel. I don't know, but that's the whole story, the whole movie. Yeah, it's not that great. The movie is not as good as the first one. The first one really captured the imagination of the audience. And Stephen Lang is superb in this movie as well, but I didn't really understand I don't really understand how the thing actually works. And a lot of things that are left to your imagination going wild. You kind of have to. But if you want to watch this movie, it is okay as a watch, but it's not really that entertaining, to be honest. The young girl who plays the daughter Phoenix is amazing. Again, no problem in giving her a big high five in this movie because she did really well. The sweetest thing that I can actually think of is that in the movie, in the beginning, it's actually we're led to believe she's actually running for her life away from Shadow, but it's actually pretend. They're just training, and the dog almost catches up to her, but she climbs up a fence and then goes into their compound where she is caught by Norman, and they're pretending basically, like if something does happen, she has to rescue herself. And as they're going back into the house, she is patting the dog and said, "You almost got me there, boy." That was really sweet. I mean, that's there in the trailer as well, and I really liked it. It's like, I in fact wanted to watch it once again, just that particular scene. That was really sweet. So I gave this movie I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Not even sure I'm going to rewatch this movie anytime soon. The first one, of course, is amazing, but this one, not so much. Really bad story. That's it for me about this particular film. Don't watch this movie that much. Instead, just go and watch the first movie. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.